If you're over 60, what you sip each day matters more than you think. That relaxing glass of wine, that occasional beer, even that evening cocktail, each one carries weight when it comes to your heart's health. But there's one particular kind of drink that many older adults enjoy regularly, believing it's harmless, even beneficial. The truth. It's quietly putting strain on the very organ working hardest to keep you alive. As a heart specialist, I've watched too many seniors come in for routine visits and leave with unexpected diagnoses: elevated blood pressure, atrial fibrillation, early-stage heart failure. It's not always about heavy drinking or wild weekends. Often, it's a daily habit, one that feels comforting, even sophisticated, but slowly weakens the heart's natural rhythm and strength. In this video, I want to urgently walk you through the 5 alcoholic drinks that seniors should seriously reconsider because they're slowly chipping away at cardiovascular health. But don't worry, this isn't about giving up pleasure. I'll also show you smarter, heart-friendly options that allow you to enjoy life without risking your well-being. You might be surprised by what's first on the list. It could already be sitting in your glass. Watch until the end, because the first drink on the list might already be in your hand. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Beer. Light and easy, but quietly harmful. A lot of older adults choose beer thinking it's the safer option. It seems light, casual, just a way to relax after dinner or unwind on a warm afternoon. The ads don't help either. They show carefree laughter, good times, and friendships made over a cold one. But I want to talk to you not as a physician giving orders, but as someone who's looked into the eyes of patients who never realized that their quiet beer habit was wearing down their heart, one sip at a time. The truth is, beer doesn't come with the sharp burn of whiskey or the romantic swirl of red wine. It feels easygoing, but don't let that fool you. Behind the bubbles is a mix of sugars and carbohydrates that becomes especially risky with age. As we grow older, our metabolism doesn't process things like it used to. Those starches in beer quickly convert to belly fat, the kind you can't always see, but the kind that matters most. This visceral fat builds around your organs, triggers inflammation in your blood vessels, raises your blood pressure, and silently thickens your arteries. I can't count how many seniors I've met who only have a beer or 2 each night. They don't drink to party. They drink for routine, comfort, habit. But over time, that daily ritual, while it may seem innocent, can quietly set the stage for high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, and eventual heart failure. It doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in. First, it's shortness of breath, then fatigue, then a diagnosis that could have been prevented. And don't forget about dehydration. Beer might look like a fluid, but it's a diuretic. It pulls water out of the body. Older adults already struggle to stay hydrated, and that dehydration makes blood thicker, harder to circulate, and more likely to clot. Your heart has to work overtime just to keep up. I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to help you see what your heart's been trying to tell you. Swapping that beer for something as simple as infused water or calming tea can give your body a chance to recover, to breathe. But beer isn't the only drink hiding harm behind a smile. The next one on our list is sweet, colorful, and often considered a treat. It's the cocktail, and it might be even worse. 2. Cocktails. Sweet on the outside, dangerous at the core. There's a certain charm to a cocktail: the colors, the garnish, the ritual of clinking glasses. For many older adults, it feels like a reward, a little indulgence that marks the end of a long day or a special moment. It doesn't seem dangerous. In fact, it often feels lighthearted, even elegant. But that's exactly the problem. Cocktails are quietly harmful in ways most people don't realize, especially after the age of 60. Unlike a straight pour of whiskey or wine, cocktails come disguised. Behind the cheerful colors and sweet flavors is a mixture of alcohol and sugar that's uniquely harmful to aging hearts. Many of these drinks are made with syrups, fruit juices, cream liquor, and flavored spirits, all of which spike your sugar intake and overwhelm your metabolism. And as we age, our ability to manage blood sugar declines. The body becomes slower at processing glucose, more sensitive to inflammation, and more prone to weight gain around the midsection where it's most dangerous. Cocktails don't just impact blood sugar. They also raise triglyceride levels, contribute to fatty liver changes, and put pressure on the heart's rhythm. I've seen many seniors who never thought of themselves as drinkers suddenly start having 1 or 2 cocktails several nights a week, not realizing that each drink is feeding a cycle of strain. The sweetness makes it hard to gauge how much alcohol is actually being consumed. You don't feel drunk. You just feel relaxed. But the heart isn't relaxed. It's working harder, compensating for changes in blood thickness, hydration, and rhythm. One of the biggest risks: atrial fibrillation, a condition where the heart beats irregularly, often triggered by alcohol and sugar. It doesn't feel dramatic at first. Maybe your chest flutters. Maybe you feel dizzy. But this condition is a leading cause of stroke in older adults, and once it starts, it rarely goes away on its own. I'm not here to tell you to never raise a glass, but I do want you to raise it with clarity. Your heart has carried you through so much, it deserves protection now more than ever. And while cocktails may feel like celebration, there are safer, more heart-friendly ways to toast to life. But if you think the danger ends with fruity drinks, wait until we talk about what's hiding in that seemingly simple shot of hard liquor. 3. Hard liquor. Whiskey, vodka, brandy. There's a kind of stoic comfort people find in hard liquor. It's clean, sharp, unpretentious. A small glass of scotch, a neat bourbon, to a bit of rum. These aren't party drinks. They're personal ones. For many seniors, it's a ritual. At the end of the day, a reminder of younger times, or simply a way to ease into sleep. But what once felt grounding can, with age, quietly turn harmful. The older we get, the more our bodies struggle with what they used to handle with ease. That little pour in your favorite tumbler, it's more powerful than it seems. Hard liquor enters the bloodstream quickly, causing a sudden tightening of blood vessels. That immediate constriction can spike blood pressure dramatically, something especially risky after 60, when arteries aren't as elastic and the heart must work harder to circulate blood. These aren't abstract risks. I've known patients who ended up in the hospital with heart rhythm issues or intense chest pressure, never suspecting their quiet evening drink could be the cause. What makes it more dangerous is how it often happens in solitude, not at a party, not in celebration, but alone. A nightcap before bed, a moment of calm. But what you don't feel in that moment is the hidden strain, the extra work your liver has to do, the faster beating of your heart, the irregular rhythms it may fall into, and with medications, especially those for blood pressure, blood sugar, or cholesterol, the interaction can be unpredictable and even harmful. This isn't about shaming habits. It's about understanding how those habits evolve in later life. A glass that once brought comfort might now be pushing your heart past its limits. And most of the time, the signs don't show until the damage has been quietly accumulating. So the real question becomes, is that sip helping you unwind, or is it quietly unraveling your well-being? If you're reaching for hard liquor out of habit, nostalgia, or even loneliness, you're not alone. But before you reach for another pour, it's worth asking what else might serve you better. And if you think the danger ends with spirits, think again, because the next drink, often considered heart-healthy, may not be as innocent as it seems. Let's take a closer look at red wine and what every senior should know before their next glass. 4. Red wine every night for heart health. It's one of the most commonly held beliefs I hear from older adults. Just one glass of red wine a night. It's good for the heart. You've probably heard it too from neighbors, health magazines, even doctors on television. And I get it. It sounds balanced, even smart, a little indulgence that doubles as protection. But after treating thousands of patients over the age of 60, I can tell you this, the science has changed, but the myth lives on. Red wine isn't heart medicine, and after 60, your body doesn't process it like it once did. Your liver slows down. Your heart becomes more sensitive to pressure changes. Your nervous system is more fragile. That one glass night after night might not feel like much, but it accumulates. It raises blood pressure, weakens the heart muscle over time, and significantly increases your risk of atrial fibrillation, a condition that can triple your chances of stroke. What's more, wine is often consumed in the evening, and that's where the second danger lies. While it might help you drift off at first, it disrupts the deeper stages of sleep, the kind your heart, brain, and immune system rely on. The result: lighter, more broken rest, and poor sleep raises cortisol, your stress hormone, which, in turn, raises blood pressure and heart strain. I've seen it play out again and again. Patients who thought they were being moderate, responsible, even proactive, but who ended up with irregular rhythms, fatigue, and surprise ER visits, all traced back to a habit that felt too small to matter. And if you're taking medications, especially for blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol, red wine can interfere with how those drugs work. In some cases, it blocks their effect. In others, it makes side effects worse. Now, I'm not here to take away joy or tell you to live without pleasure, but I am here to speak up for your heart, the organ that's been faithfully working every second of your life. It deserves choices that support it, not strain it. And if part of your nightly wine habit has anything to do with sleep, what I'm about to share may surprise you even more. Because drinking to relax to fall asleep might be quietly stealing the rest your body so desperately needs. Let's talk about why alcohol at bedtime does more harm than healing. 5. Drinking to sleep. A quiet habit that steals your rest. As we grow older, sleep often becomes more fragile. The hours stretch longer, and the mind seems to wander more freely in the quiet of the night. For many seniors, that stillness feels heavy. In response, a small drink before bed, a glass of wine, a splash of brandy, a soothing cocktail can seem like a gentle way to ease into rest. I've heard it countless times from my patients. It's the only thing that helps me fall asleep. And I believe them. But what they often don't see is the quiet toll it's taking on their heart. Alcohol may invite drowsiness, but it sabotages the deeper stages of sleep, the kind that the body and heart rely on to truly recover. REM sleep, the phase where the brain processes emotion and the cardiovascular system resets, is particularly affected. Instead of winding down, your heart stays alert. Breathing patterns become irregular. Blood pressure rises. And you wake not refreshed, but uneasy, foggy, or with a pounding chest. These symptoms are real, but rarely trace back to the drink the night before. Even more concerning is how quickly this habit can become routine. A glass here and there becomes nightly. The body adapts, demanding more for the same effect. Meanwhile, your heart becomes more vulnerable, and your quality of rest continues to decline. What started as comfort turns into quiet dependency. The emotional side of this is just as important. I've met many older adults living alone who don't drink just to sleep. They drink to soften the silence, to ease the weight of loneliness. But there are kinder, safer ways to settle the nervous system and invite sleep. Gentle breathing exercises, a warm cup of herbal tea, soothing music, the simple act of dimming lights and stepping away from screens. These habits support the heart, not strain it. You deserve to feel safe, calm, and truly rested. And so does your heart, the muscle that carries you through every moment of life. Give it a chance to heal at night, not work harder. And if you think alcohol's effects end when the sun rises, think again. In the hours that follow, your blood pressure may already be rising quietly and invisibly, even if you feel fine. Let's talk next about how alcohol fuels hypertension in seniors, often without a single warning sign. 6. What I see every day, and what you can do today. In all my years as a heart specialist, there's a pattern I've seen far too many times. Different people, different stories, but the same quiet outcome. Seniors walk into my office with good spirits. They laugh easily, speak lovingly of their grandchildren, share stories of their morning walks or healthy meals. On the outside, they look like the picture of well-being. But then the results arrive, and they tell a very different story. Elevated blood pressure, subtle but persistent inflammation in the arteries, signs that the heart has been working overtime, quietly wearing down. And more often than not, the common thread is something they never thought twice about: alcohol. It's rarely abuse. It's a drink here, a sip there, a glass with dinner, a toast at a gathering, a small habit wrapped in good memories. But for aging hearts, that little habit can become a hidden threat. Alcohol in later years doesn't present itself with obvious warning signs. It sneaks in slowly, over months, even years, weakening the heartbeat, narrowing the vessels, disrupting the body's delicate balance. Most feel fine until the moment they don't. A dizzy spell, a skipped heartbeat, a sudden collapse. And I've sat beside families who never imagined this could happen. The heartbreak of the unexpected, the questions, the regrets. And while I've seen that pain, I've also seen something else, something powerful. I've seen healing. Because even after treads, the human body still responds to care. It still rebuilds. It still listens. It doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for awareness. A bit more attention. A little less assumption. A willingness to rethink what once felt safe. The truth is, one small shift, like choosing not to drink tonight, can begin to unravel years of quiet harm. You don't have to change everything at once. Maybe you start by checking your blood pressure this week. Maybe you speak honestly with your doctor for the first time about what and how often you drink. Maybe you download an app that helps you remember your pills, or log your meals with gentle encouragement instead of guilt. These aren't drastic measures. They're lifelines. Simple, steady acts that give your heart a little more strength, a little more time. And if you've read this far, perhaps you've already taken the first step. You're listening, not just to me, but to yourself. To the part of you that's been wondering if this routine is still serving you or quietly hurting you, because your heart, after all these years of carrying you through everything, love, grief, triumph, illness, is finally asking for something in return. Your attention, your respect, your kindness. The drinks that once felt harmless, even comforting, may now be weighing heavier than you think. Not because you've done something wrong, but because your body has changed and now it needs something different. Something softer. Something more healing. This isn't about deprivation. It's not about giving up joy. It's about choosing a kind of joy that also protects your future, because health in your 60s, 70s, and beyond isn't about fighting age. It's about living alongside it with wisdom, with care, and with grace. So if you're wondering whether it's too late to make a difference, I'll say this: absolutely not. Every choice you make from this moment on is a thread in the fabric of your future. Every time you drink water instead of wine, rest instead of push, speak honestly instead of hide, you are rewriting your story. You are proving that aging is not decline. It's evolution. So here's your invitation. Choose one change. Just one. Whether it's a habit you reduce, a step you take, or a truth you finally face. Your future self will be stronger for it. Your family will feel it. And most of all, your heart will recognize that it was never forgotten. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share in the comments one insight you're taking with you, or one small change you're ready to make. Let's grow stronger together. And if you found this video meaningful, feel free to like, share, or subscribe to our channel. Thank you for being here. Here's to a heart that not only beats but belongs fully to the life you're still living.